Today, we are tackling a foundational concept for absolutely anyone preparing for their real estate licensing exam. If you're a focused learner looking to really streamline your studying, well, you're in the right place. We're going to master a binary concept that is just entirely essential for your exam prep, and that is understanding the fundamental difference between real property and personal property. Now, I know it might sound kind of basic at first, but getting this crystal clear in your mind, that's the bedrock of literally everything else you're going to learn in your real estate journey. So to get us started, picture this. Imagine you're walking through a gorgeous open house, and you spot this beautiful, custom, floor-to-ceiling built-in bookshelf. Is that bookshelf considered real property, or is it personal property? Seems like a pretty simple question, right? But real estate law makes very, very specific distinctions here. By the time we finish up this explainer, you will definitively know exactly how to answer this, using a really simple test that you can easily apply on exam day. Now, real quick, before we get to that test, let's just cover an important disclaimer to set some clear expectations. This explainer is designed strictly for educational exam prep support only. We don't guarantee specific exam questions, passing results, or licensing outcomes. You know how it is. Every state is a little bit different, and licensing rules or what they emphasize on the exam can definitely vary. So always make sure to check your specific state's official licensing requirements and approved study materials. Our goal here today is just to give you a really clear structural understanding of these big, overarching concepts. Okay, let's dive right into our first critical definition. Real property generally refers to land and anything permanently attached to the land. I really want you to focus heavily on that phrase, permanently attached. We aren't just talking about the dirt, the rocks, and the grass here. It's the structures and the improvements that are fixed directly to that dirt. If it's bolted down, built in, or growing right out of the earth with roots, it is typically falling under this specific real property umbrella. Now, let's flip it over and look at the other side of the coin. Personal property refers to movable items that are not permanently attached to the land or building. The absolute key characteristic here, and I mean the main differentiator you need to burn into your memory, is the word movable. If you can pick an item up, toss it in the back of a truck, and walk away with it without causing any actual damage to the physical structure of the building, well, you are almost always dealing with personal property. So when you're actually sitting there in the testing center, staring down a really tricky question, you are basically weighing two concepts against each other. It's a showdown: attachment versus movability. Think of it like a scale. On one side, you have the permanent fixtures, rooted to the spot. That is your real property. On the other side, you have the mobile, free-floating items. That's your personal property. Understanding this core compare and contrast framework of attachment versus movability is, hands down, the primary key to unlocking these questions quickly and confidently. Let's ground these abstract definitions in some practical, everyday reality. Think about the land itself, the house built on it, the garage, the fence bordering the yard, the trees rooted right there in the soil, and even the plumbing and heating systems hidden completely inside the walls. These are all permanent improvements, meaning they are real property. Conversely, think about the furniture you put inside that house: your area rugs, the tools in your garage, your cars, your clothes, and the literal moving boxes you use to transport them. None of these are permanently attached, right? So they are all personal property. Okay, listen up, because we need to look at a very common pitfall. When taking the exam, test takers so often get tripped up by things inside the house, specifically appliances, cabinets, and lighting fixtures. It's just human nature. It's very easy to look at a beautifully completed kitchen and see it as one big unified thing. But the law sees it completely differently. When you encounter these interior items on a test, you have to pause and ask yourself, is this specific item permanently attached to the structure, or is it movable? Let's actually put that question into practice. We'll directly contrast two items you'll often find sitting right next to each other in the exact same room. Take a built-in cabinet. This is real property. Why? Well, because it's screwed directly into the studs of the wall. It's anchored to the structure. It is permanently attached. Now, contrast that with a freestanding appliance, like a standard refrigerator that you just plug into the wall outlet. That is personal property. I mean, it's heavy, sure, but fundamentally, it's movable. We've all heard those bizarre stories of a seller trying to yank out and pack up a built-in dishwasher when they move. Don't be that person, and definitely don't get that confused on your exam. Seeing exactly how the permanently attached rule resolves this common exam confusion is incredibly empowering for test day. So if you take away only one thing from all this, the crucial point is, attached usually means real property. Movable usually means personal property. I'm actually going to slow down the pace here for just a second because I really want this to firmly anchor in your mind. This is your primary memory trick. This is the compass you will use when you get stuck. Attached equals real. Movable equals personal. Keep those pairs linked in your head, and I promise you're going to be in great shape. All right, pop quiz time. Let's transition into the practice phase and test your immediate comprehension of what we've just covered. I'm going to read this practice question and the options aloud, and I want you to really think about the answer. Which item is most likely considered real property? A, a sofa. B, a freestanding lamp. C, a built-in kitchen cabinet. D, a moving box. Take just a second. Apply the rule we literally just learned. Okay, let's systematically break down the logic here to find our answer. Step 1 is to identify the movable items. The sofa, the freestanding lamp, and the moving box. Those are all clearly movable. You can easily pack them up and take them to a new house. Step 2 is to identify the attached item. Well, that leaves us with the built-in kitchen cabinet. Therefore, C is absolutely the correct answer. The built-in cabinet is usually attached to the property and is commonly considered part of the real estate, which proves conclusively that the other items completely fail the movability test. We're going to wrap up today's explainer with this final provocative thought, which honestly serves as your ultimate cheat code. Can you easily take it with you when you move? To really lock in your exam prep right now, I encourage you to look around the room you are currently in. Seriously, classify what you see. That chair you're sitting on? Movable. It's personal property. The door frame? Attached. That's real property. If you practice this simple binary classification in your daily life, you're going to navigate these questions on the exam with total confidence. Thank you so much for studying with the explainer today. Keep up the fantastic work and keep learning.